Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the most dangerous combat sport in the world, American politics. And I am Ted King. And today we have a lot of things going on. And I want to talk about, one thing I want to talk about is we had Donald Trump. He was talking to the Saudis, right? It was a big thing about him talking to the Saudi, I guess, crown prince. Queen, I shouldn't say queen. And they were having a big to do about how he was down there talking to the Saudi prince or queen or whatever he is. And it was brought to my attention that Trump organization is doing development, unveiled $10 billion in projects over there in Riyadh. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Saudis are having a lot of traction with this boxing, right? Because I do boxing. You may have seen me doing the boxing channel as well. But so they got this thing over here in Saudi Arabia where Trump is now being a part of that because boxing is being drawn away from the big promoters over here in the United States, well, rightfully so, because actually they're making boxing a lot better than it was before because now you're seeing the best fighting the best. I don't know if you follow that or not, but basically what I'm talking about today is I'm talking about this Trump organization, Saudi development that's going on, and I'm going to read a little bit about this. It says, U.S. President Donald Trump's family's business. Now, this is his family's business, right? So this is his son, his sons, and the rest of the Trump family over there unveiled billions of dollars worth of real estate deals in Saudi Arabia, deepening its ties to a company close to the Saudi government. It said Dar Global announced on Monday that it had officially launched Trump Plaza Jeddah, right, which will include apartments, a private park, office space, and Trump townhouses. Now, that's Donald Trump. I'm telling you, man. These guys, listen, man, look, and I didn't, I'm be honest with you, I did not vote for Donald Trump, okay? And like I said before, many times, if you watch my shows, I don't like, I don't like being bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray, and then of course go along with the program. Okay, that's what happened to me, but okay, so it happened to a lot of people in the United States, But anyway, let's get on this. It says, in quote, right, expanding our presence in Saudi Arabia with Trump Plaza Jeddah underscores our commitment to world-class quality and iconic design. The U.S. president's son, Eric, said in a statement, adding that the project reflected the Trump family's confidence in Jeddah as a dynamic, globally relevant city. This is, unquote, right? Now, this is what's going on over there in Saudi Arabia. And this is Donald Trump and the family, the Trump family. They're actually going global with a lot of different things. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to, because listen, let's not fool ourselves. And I'm not thinking that Donald Trump is going to get away with this stuff. As a matter of fact, I don't think he is. I don't think his family is either, by the way. I think that what's going to happen is they're going to start clamping down on all this and follow the money for all this stuff that's going on with the Trump family. Let's read on. Zinia El Shar, the CEO of Dar Global, told Reuters that the projects together are valued at around $10 billion. Big project, right? In a statement, he said the Tower of Jeddah would be a, quote, carefully curated urban ecosystem designed for global residents who want to live, work, and connect within the best address in Jeddah. Now, that's unquote. I'm not exactly sure where this place is at. I know it's in Saudi Arabia, but this is something that obviously they are tracking because they're reporting about it, right? So it says further, on Sunday, the Trump Organization and Dar Al Arkan Real Estate announced a separate project to build a sprawling 2.6 million square meter golf resort in the Saudi city of, let me try and pronounce this, Darija, outside of Riyadh, okay? The deal come as Saudi Arabia looks to turbocharge its real estate sector, announcing in January that non-Saudis would be allowed to purchase property in Riyadh and Jeddah, right? Saudi Arabia is trying to garner foreign investor interest in sectors from AI to mining and tourism. The real estate sector underscores some of the challenges it faces amid concerns over Saudi laws and investor rights. For example, in September 2025, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, that's who the guy I'm talking about, right? Let me repeat that name, because he was over there in the White House, right? So let me say it again. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman froze rents across Riyadh for 5 years. While some politicians in the West, including New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani, are calling for such measures amid a cost of living crisis. Global investors say they chill property prices. It is unclear whether luxury developments will be included in the freeze. Now, let me take a look at this. Now, this is because we're talking about Zoran Mandani, which is the New York mayor. It's not clear as to where this ties in with the Crown Prince of Mohammed bin Salman freeze rents across Riyadh, because that's not in New York. Okay, so let's move on. It says here, Trump has denied benefiting from any of his family's deals, but announcements are likely to increase criticism that his children are profiting from their father's ties to Gulf governments. Dar Global opened its first U.S. office earlier this year at Trump Tower in New York City. Dar Global is a subsidiary of a sprawling Saudi development firm, Dar Al Arkan, which has close ties to the Saudi government. The company has emerged as Trump Organization's most important overseas partner. This is very important. This is big, right? Now, the Saudis are one of Trump's, not that, okay, we know Trump is doing a whole lot of stuff, right? Trump is doing big things over there in the White House, right? Okay, but it says there, I'm gonna repeat, the company has emerged as Trump's organization's most important overseas partner. It is involved in the construction of a golf course and luxury hotel in Oman and a Trump International Golf Club and villas in Semasama. Let me repeat that again. Semasama, a resort town some 30 kilometers north of the Qatari capital, Doha. Meanwhile, in the UAE, a 80-story Trump hotel is being built by Dar Arkin, featuring the highest outdoor pool in the world. Trump properties outside the U.S. are typically constructed by foreign firms. The Trump organization makes money by selling the Trump brand name and, with it, its reputation. Wow. These licensing fees have proven very lucrative for Trump's children. According to the New York Times, Dow Global's purchase of rights to the Trump name generated $21.9 million for the Trump family business last year. That was just last year. Right? Okay, so he took office. He's already made, the Trump family made upwards of 21.9 million. And just in the last year, because he took office in what? He took office in January, and they made 21.9 million. The Trump family business made 21.9 million. Jeddah is a gateway to Saudi Arabia's Red Sea coast, where the kingdom is building beach resorts. Darya is the original home of the ruling Al Saud family and includes a mud brick village that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city is 20 minutes drive. The city is 20-minute drive from Riyadh. It's undergoing a $63 billion development into a luxury destination with hotels, resorts, shops, and museums. Once again, the Saudis are taking over the whole boxing network right now. And one would think, well, what's going on with this? I mean, because, the Saudis are, they were losing a lot of money. So they were planning on making this money up some kind of way. And so you had to know, if you were following boxing, that this process of some sort would manifest its head, and it looked like this is it, right? Trump toured the site in May. Doing his visit to the kingdom. Wow. Excuse me. I'm talking because I can't believe Donald Trump is getting away with this stuff, right? Trump met again with the Saudi Crown Prince in November when he visited the White House. Yes, he did. Okay, so now it goes on to say Middle East Eye developers, independent and unraveled coverage and analysis of the Middle East, North Africa, and beyond to learn more about republishing this content and the associated fees. Please fill out this. I think that's something else. Okay. But anyway, it looks like that was the end of this. That was the end of the article. Man, I can't believe Donald Trump. Boy, something else. Donald Trump is something else, man. Donald Trump is too much. Anyway, all right, so let's do this. So let's go to breaking news here. Okay, so it's been reported here. Clinton defies subpoena to testify in Epstein investigation, risking being held in contempt. This article is written by Haley Futch, Tuesday, January 13, 2026, at 7:43 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it reads, Bill and Hillary Clinton have officially refused to testify in the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee's investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, defying subpoenas and risking being held in contempt of Congress. The former president and Secretary of State were scheduled to appear on Capitol Hill for closed-door depositions Tuesday and Wednesday, but in a letter to House Oversight Chair Charles Comer, attorneys for the Clintons said their clients would not be complying. The letter, obtained by Politico, claimed both Clintons have already provided all the information they have regarding the late Epstein and his co-conspirator. Justine Maxwell, who is now serving a 20-year sentence for her part in the sex trafficking scheme. The attorneys called the lopsided nothing more than a ploy to attempt to embarrass political rivals, as President Trump has directed. They also brushed off threats of legal action by arguing that because the subpoenas issued to the Clintons are, quote, not related to the valid legislative purpose, end quote, the subpoenas are therefore, quote, invalid and illegally unenforceable, end quote. Speaking to reporters Tuesday morning outside the hearing room where the interview with Bill Clinton was due to take place, Comer, a Kentucky Republican, announced a vote to hold Bill Clinton in contempt of Congress would be scheduled to take place during next week's committee markup. A similar vote could be scheduled for Hillary Clinton, assuming she does not appear Wednesday. The seldom used congressional power can range in implications from a symbolic action to a precursor to forcing jail time. But there's reason to believe a contempt vote at this time for these individuals could have dramatic consequences. The Trump Justice Department has not hesitated in the past to go after its perceived enemies. The administration has sought to cast Bill Clinton at the center of the Epstein file saga, despite there being no evidence of misconduct against him. Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, was the subject of a lock her up, that's a quote, unquote, rally cry among President Donald Trump's supporters during the 2016 presidential campaign. Largely amid revelations, he used a private email server while serving in the Obama administration. In previous examples of the potential serious consequences to contempt of Congress charges, two Trump associates, Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, were sentenced to prison time for failing to cooperate with subpoenas from the Democratic-led Select Committee investigating January 6, 2021 attacks on the Capitol. Quote, we trust you will engage in good faith to de-escalate this dispute, unquote. The attorneys wrote in the letter dated January 12th, a day before Bill Clinton's scheduled appearance. Here's another one. Epstein probe summons Clinton's as U.S. Congress warns of contempt. Another one by Frank Taggart. This is Tuesday, January 13, 2026 at 6:41 a.m. Pacific time. And it reads, Bill and Hillary Clinton were set to testify during Tuesday in the U.S. Congress's investigation into notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, with Republicans warning they could face contempt charges if they fail to appear. The Democratic former president and ex-secretary of state have been ordered to give closed-door depositions before the House Oversight Committee, which is probing Epstein's connections to powerful figures and how information about his crimes was handled. The pressure comes as President Donald Trump faces mounting calls for transparency after the Justice Department angered his supporters, many of whom believe the financier was murdered in a cover-up by releasing only a sliver of case files nearly a month past the legal deadline. Bill Clinton is scheduled to appear Tuesday morning with Hillary Clinton following on Wednesday, but neither was confirmed attendance, according to U.S. media reporters. AFP sought comment from the committee, but received no immediate response.
It has been more than 4 months since Bill and Hillary Clinton were subpoenaed to sit for depositions related to our investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and Justine Maxwell's horrific crime. Quote, the panel's Republican Chairman James Comer said in a statement last month, quote, throughout that time, the former president and former Secretary of State have delayed, obstructed, and largely ignored the committee staff's effort to schedule their testimony, unquote. If the pair refuses to comply, a contempt resolution would need approval from the full House before being referred to the Justice Department. Criminal contempt of Congress is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and fines of up to $100,000. Though prosecutions hinge on the department's willingness to pursue the case. The subpoenas followed a unanimous bipartisan vote last year directing the committee to compel testimony from current and former officials as part of its Epstein probe. The Clintons were initially slated to testify in October, but those dates were pushed back during negotiations with their legal team. Bill Clinton's spokesman says his team offered terms similar to those accepted for other witnesses and accusers. Comer of singling out the former president without explanation. Hillary Clinton's office questions why she was called at all, arguing the committee has yet to explain the relevance of her testimony, which is true. What did she have to do anything? Her name wasn't in the Epstein files. Epstein, once a friend and associate of Trump and other high-profile figures, was convicted of sex crimes and later jailed pending trial of allegedly trafficking underage girls. His death in custody ruled a suicide, fueled suspicions long championed by Trump supporters. The Epsteins ran an international pedophile ring and was silenced to protect powerful elites. After Trump returned to power last year, his administration vowed to release Epstein case files, but quickly
All right, I'm gonna get off of that for right now. Because you know what? This Epstein thing, it's ongoing. We know that Donald Trump got his hands all up in the, into the Kool-Aid over with them Epstein files. He can't get away from it, ladies and gentlemen. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna try to deflect and hope that the people will go ahead and bite into the the banana in the tailpipe and go off in their own separate direction. Well, that's not going to happen over here because he's kind of got himself in a quandary where he can't get out of. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our sponsor, Add My Name. We want to thank Add My Name for giving us this platform to be able to come on board and start our new daily show. And trying to help people make money while they sleep program. And this is fantastic because this situation they're talking about just basically getting started with $20, only $20, and to catapult yourself into a position where you can go ahead and start making money while you sleep. And how does that work? It works like this. You're gonna go ahead, you're gonna get an email of your own, for $20. And you're going to start garnering networks. And these networks consist of car networks, cooking networks, construction networks. And basically, you're going to just collaborate with your network and pushing out your content. In other words, like, for example, you decide that you're going to get a podcast. And your podcast, you'll start with YouTube. And if you get into a network, all under Add My Name, the network, you're going to go ahead, you're going to put that network, like, for example, if there's 1,000 people, you're going to go ahead and say, go to my brand new YouTube page and subscribe. Now you get 1,000 subscribers, YouTube going to monetize you, right? And that's how this thing works, right? So what you're doing is you're networking yourself up, not working yourself up. You got to network yourself up these days because you don't have enough time, you don't have enough to get that kind of money. Like for example, right across over here, right there, there's $1 million houses over there, right? I don't know. They got for sale sign out there in one of them houses, by the way. And I don't know who's gonna buy that thing, but whoever gonna buy it will have to have $1 million to get it. Okay, and so that's what this is all about. It's supposed to helping you make money while you sleep strategically, and just for $20, you can't beat that. But there's more to it. But the program starts with $20. At $20, you get you your own email, and an email you're in a network. So you're building a network, and it's not like you got to pay monthly. Just one time, $20, right? That's like what, 2 meals at McDonald's? Yeah, because McDonald's went up, it might not be able to buy a hamburger as a prize, and and a soda for $20 in about another 6 months at McDonald's. Everything's going up. So that's basically what this is all about. You're going to add my name at www.admy.name, advertising and marketing. And don't forget, if you get the opportunity, go subscribe to our channel over there at YouTube at King Mighty King Media TV, Mouthpiece Sport TV, and add my name. And give us a subscription. Don't forget to like, share the video, and we appreciate that. It's free. Don't cost you nothing. And So let's get on back onto the show. All right. So we I want to talk about this situation with this Venezuela situation, right? And how Donald Trump, because I was in the gym the other day. I had a young man sitting there. He was doing his little thing and talking about, he said he's an investor. He invests money. And he was talking about this situation with this oil, that they were going to get this oil in Venezuela. I said, I don't think so. I don't think that the oil companies are on board to push this infrastructure over there in Venezuela to drill out this oil. I don't think that the oil companies is on board with that. And there has been some report, of course, that they're not. But this young man was very, I don't know, got a little emotional as far as I'm concerned, and started acting like, okay, the reports aren't out there, but the reports are out there. A lot of people think that this Venezuela was about oil and not the distraction that when it was behind the distraction. I mean, because they just did what? They did something over there in Africa, talking about Christians. So, these things are going on. This is not unisolated incidents. This situation is going on over here, and it's going over here with regularity, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't understand why people think that, okay, this thing is all about oil and about taking this the president of Venezuela down. They did that. That's no problem. But they don't have a follow-up plan after that. And just come on now. If Donald Trump is not a failed president, and they're going to sugarcoat it as if he's doing a good job, and we know he's not. I mean, because day one, prices was going to go down. Day one, prices haven't went down; they went up, and and so we know that in this year sometime, the House is going to change. They're going to change the House. Majority is going to be Democrats, and the Democrats are going to try and impeach him, and he knows this. And so in that process of during that process, what does he need to do? He needs to go ahead and get as much money as he possibly can and distract as much as he can, while he knows that he's about to be what he is, a lame duck president. Now, a lot of people think that Donald Trump is going to not live through his presidency. I mean, I'll just put it out there. A lot of people think that Donald Trump will not live through his presidency. But I think that he'll probably be ousted out of his presidency before that happens, And even though he might not say I'm getting out, because he holds that position that he's a firm believer, fight to the end. Well, you fight to the end, or you say you're gonna fight to the end until it gets closer to the end. And as reported earlier, we talked about this Saudi Arabia situation going on. He's got a lot to live for. I mean, if this millions of dollars worth of deals that he's doing over there in Saudi Arabia, and that's big too, by the way. Saudi Arabia, they're taking over. Like I said, they're taking over boxing legitimately. Okay, this is not no scam. They're over there taking over. They're taking over boxing right now. As a matter of fact, there's a fight coming up next week. No, at the end of this month, over there in Saudi Arabia, where you got Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson for Teofimo Lopez's junior welterweight championship of the world at 140 pounds. And that's over there in Saudi Arabia. That's a big fight. Now, they have nothing but big fights over there these days, right? Top contenders fighting other top contenders. For example, the great Saul Canelo Alvarez versus the great I would say great right? Is he beating Chad Bud Crawford? And big fight. I was over there. It was here in the United States, but it was promoted by, the footprint was Saudi Arabians, right? Yeah, the Real Season Saudi Arabians, right? Even though they put Dana in the front, and so he was out there as a front man, but he really was, it was really the Saudi's promotion, right? And that's basically how things are rolling these days. But this Trump, I'm telling you, that Donald Trump, I'm telling you, listen, Donald Trump is probably one of the very few Americans that's getting rich. The price went down for him. He didn't do too much for the American public, but it did fantastic for Donald Trump, and that's in a real way. So that's what we can say honestly, that Donald Trump is doing just fine. Listen, I don't hate the player, okay, and in this case, I don't hate the game, because listen, the people who put him in office are to blame. Okay, keep it real, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's funny to me, right? It's funny to me because I don't understand how you put yourself in a situation. I'm gonna tell you a real quick story. Back in, I think it was in 2000. I'm gonna say 2015. I was in a town called Citrus Heights. And in that town, Citrus Heights, there was a guy at a McDonald's. And the guy says that the president at that particular time was kind of weak. 2015. You can look it up who was the president at that time. And what he said was, they weren't doing nothing like taking over nothing. I mean, this guy was kind of slight. He wasn't a big guy, wasn't a big guy at all. I'm like, what this guy talking about? Like he had a little girl with him at the time. So the first thing came to my mind, I said, what's she gonna do? Your daughter? This little girl gonna go over there and start fighting these wars? Is that what you want her to do? Go over there and fight these wars and get possibly killed? You have this kind of rhetoric that you're talking about? Well, let's fast forward to when Donald Trump actually was talking about running for the presidency. Like, whoa, Donald Trump running for the presidency? Whoa, well, he was running for the presidency, and he got it. Well, this thing was going on way back then, without no knowledge of me, right? But it was going on way back then, and these people had this thing in mind back in a time when it was just starting, right? They knew all about it. They knew all about it. Now, we didn't know nothing about it because we didn't think anything close to what's going on now was going to happen. But then once he got in office and the way he got out, it was like impossibility. He ain't coming back in. He will never be able to get back in because we know what he's going to do. And I guess they're like, okay, yeah. We're gonna put him in. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? But anyway, man, look. So I ain't mad at Mr. Trump because Mr. Trump only gonna do what people let him allow him to do. And last I checked, we do have ballot, and the ballot will determine whether or not you're able to do certain things like become president of the United States of America, and that's what he is right now. So yeah, that's I don't have a problem with it. Okay. So yeah, but anyway, we're gonna talk about this situation and further get into it regarding what is it gonna take for Americans to get out of this situation. Well, it's right down there. You take a look at that. Some of you gonna pay attention. That right down there. Not everybody. No, I don't expect everybody to, but down there, somebody gonna be paying attention. And what's going on down there, gonna have a whole bunch of people out. I'm gonna keep it real. And we're gonna be talking about this much more in detail as we go on, because this, I've been told, look, they want me to do this every day. You do. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll see how it works. And but yeah, so that's what's happening now. But on that front with Donald Trump, it's gonna have to play itself out in real time. It will. Now listen, this is what we're gonna talk about now. We're gonna talk about this here fight coming up. This fight coming up because I've been neglecting my boxing, my people in boxing. And so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the boxing aspect because this is a combat sport channel. And we talk about different kind of combat. Of course, we're talking about politics, but we still talk about boxing. We have a fight coming up in Saudi Arabia between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. Now, last I checked, Teofimo was the underdog. Teofimo was the underdog. And so I don't understand how that happened, but that's basically what I was told. Because I don't think that Teofimo is going to lose the fight. Now, I'm keeping it real. I don't think that Teofimo is going to lose the fight. I think that Teofimo is going to win the fight. I'm not sure how he's going to do it, but it appears to me that he'll probably be making it pretty rough for Mr. Stevenson. And so, I'm looking for a victory coming from Teofimo Lopez, and I don't think that it's going to be a knockout, but I think that he's going to rough up. He's a little bit rougher than people think, and he's fighting at a weight where he can kind of handle himself in terms of his weight goes. His weight goes, imagine his weight. So I don't look for Teofimo to be able to beat Teofimo. I don't look for Shakur Stevens to beat Teofimo, and I just don't. I believe that without question, Shakur Stevenson is a great fighter, but is he a great enough fighter? Is he gonna be going to be able to bite down? And really, because Teofimo can box too. He can not only can he fight, he can box as well. And I just don't think that Shakur Stevenson is going to win the fight. Now, it's probably not going let's say, for example, it doesn't manifest itself into a knockout. And I don't think it'll be a knockout. You know, I would lean toward more there's going to be a decision in a knockout, which would give Teofimo an opportunity at the odds on winning our boxing if he's able to do it. But that's the thing. That's the problem because Teofimo going to make it a slugfest. Game plan is to make it real ugly. You know, make it a real ugly fight. Make the fight real rough, real tough, and you know, put Shakur on notice that he might have bit off a little bit more than he could chew. I mean, you know, I think that, you know, I give Shakur all the credit in the world of being a good fighter, but there's levels to this, right? And the opposition that Teofimo has been up against is a lot more, you know, a little bit more, a little bit more, I would have to say, competitive than Shakur's. Even though people might not think so, I do. Right? I do not think that Teofimo has been given because he has one loss, right? He has he got one loss, and so people think, okay, because he has one loss, that's going to be the reason why Shakur, without any losses, could beat him. I don't think that's the case. As a matter of fact, I know that's not the case. I believe that keep it real. I believe that Shakur just haven't fought anybody to the caliber of Teofimo. So I mean, you know, I could be wrong. You know, I've been wrong before, but I just don't think that in this particular case it's going to be the case that I'm going to be wrong when it comes to this particular fight. You know, I'm not saying you go out there and anybody bet their dollars on it, put their money on it. But let's go ahead and take a look at something real quick. We're going to take a look at Teofimo getting ready for this fight coming up. Now, the man is a good guy. Okay, he's been misunderstood, but he's a good guy. He's not the bad guy that people think about. Matter of fact, he's probably more so a guy who's just been misunderstood. Been boxing for a long time and been misunderstood. But I think Teofimo's a good young man. He's very respectful. He's just probably trying to push the fights as he deems necessary. But overall, he's pretty decent young man. And likewise, so is Shakur. Shakur is a good man as well. But when it comes down to this particular fight, I can't say that I give the nod to Shakur to be able to knock off Teofimo.
You know, I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time, you know. I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, like, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, and I'm going to do that.
It was a good fight. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for a good fight from both of these guys. And, you know, they're getting ready. They're getting ready, and they're going to put on a show for the people. So, you know, once we get through this fight, we're going to be able to see some more upcoming fights coming down. Because this is a new year, so we know that Canelo always fights around Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day. So he's got something going on. They got him locked in. I think what's going to happen is, for example, Terrence Bud Crawford, who has said, okay, I'm going to retire. And he said officially he's retired. But there's a smoke screen behind that, right? Because people are going to say, well, we want to see that rematch between you and Canelo. And so, we got that to look forward to. But this fight right here is going to definitely be a good fight. It's going to be a great fight, as a matter of fact. This fight's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be, it's going to be where we're going to see the best fighting the best. Yes, remember, you guys remember when Ryan Garcia fought Devontae Tank Davis. That kind of kicked everything off. But it didn't kick it off the right way, because Devontae Tank Davis' team asked for all these stipulations. Weight drain, and then of course rehydration, and this, that, and the other. He didn't put the true relevance of the fight to where it was, in my opinion, where it was equal. Like, for example, when Ken Bud Crawford fought, he didn't give Canelo no excuses. Said, we're gonna fight at this here weight class, and this is the weight class that we're gonna fight at, and that's it. And that's what happened. So this is a little bit different, that was a little bit different with Devontae Tank Davis. You had for all this stuff, all this rehydration clause, this and all this rehydration clause, that, and that was kind of messed up. But this is not going to be the case. This is going to be straight up. Both of these guys, Shakur is coming up to 140. No tune-up fights. Going right in there and fighting Teofimo. Of course, he's in that camp with Terrence Bud Crawford. So they know how to put things together, bring some training together, the adequate training to make this stuff happen. So we got that to look forward to. I mean, I'm very excited about this particular fight. And again, I'm no hater. I just call it like I see it. I like both fighters, but I'm telling you, this Teofimo ain't no joke. Teofimo's a lot stronger than people think. He's gonna be a handful for Teofimo. I mean for Shakur. Shakur gonna have to box his butt off. Here's the problem. He might be a better boxer, but will Shakur have the power to stop Teofimo from going in there and doing what he needs to do to win the fight? And that's the problem. The problem is not whether Teofimo is gonna be able to outbox him. He can box. Teofimo can box. But will Shakur Stevenson be able to box good enough to where he can put some sting on Teofimo to keep him off? And that's where I don't take the box. I take the box that Teofimo can hit, and Teofimo can box. But I don't take that box when it comes down to whether Shakur is going to be able to stop Teofimo, stop him where he's going to knock him out. So I'm looking at it like, okay, more than likely it'll be a decision. And if it's a knockout, I look for Teofimo to be the one who knocks out Shakur Stevenson, and that's my take on that, right? So yeah, we'll see, because the fight's coming up. We're gonna see. And tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and expound a little bit more on the fight with Teofimo Lopez. We'll still, like I said, like this sort of format, same way. Talk about a little politics because that doggone Donald Trump. I'm telling you, Donald Trump. Listen, I don't know how the man was able to do it, man. 34 felonies. I ain't got past that one yet. 34, and still became the president of the United States of America. I can't believe it. And he go in there and tell folks what he gonna do, and they're like, no, that ain't gonna happen. And he told them. And I can't believe how this happened. How this man got in office. I'm shocked. And then he got all this dirt. I mean, we're talking about boxing now. We're talking about boxing, man. Let me go for that Donald Trump, man. If we're talking about boxing, I can't believe it. But it happened. Anyway, so listen, if this would be tantamount to the same thing, in my opinion, if Shakur Stevenson knocks out Teofimo Lopez in this fight. Okay, it's gonna be the same thing like a Donald Trump, as far as I'm concerned. I ain't gonna see how it can happen. Okay, I don't look for it to happen, and if it does happen, I'm gonna be surprised that it does happen. Shocked, like I'm shocked that we got this guy, President Trump. Well, we got to be respectful of all our presidents, right? Especially by them, they go Shakur. This is what I'm saying. I hear that man not hitting like that. Shakur is not hitting like that. Shakur can box his brother out, but can he pop like that? That's what I'm talking about. Can the man give the pop in there to keep the man off of him? And I just don't see that happening. You know, come on now. I'm just a purist of the sport of boxing. I call like I said. You know, I can tell you one guy who has surprised me as being a fighter, a great fighter, and that's David Benavidez. And a lot of times I thought he wasn't going to win the fight, and he did. Right? He's the only guy I'm like, okay, he's probably going to lose this way, and hasn't lost. And the way he did Anthony Yarde that last time is like, for the real deal, okay? He's a real deal. I can't wait for him to go. He's going up and fighting Ramirez next, I believe. And when that happens, if he does come down, we'll see. But anyway, this guy right here, this Shakur Stevenson, he's going to have to start putting on a little bit more muscle and hit with a little more pop if he's going to keep Teofimo off of him. And that's what I got on this. Is okay. But he's a good boxer. Look like he's a good boxer. I mean, you know, he's going to have to. And who's this? Head coach for who? I guess he's the head coach for Teofimo. I mean, for Shakur. But Shakur going to have to get down there and get gritty and absolutely get in there and start digging on Teofimo. Because Teofimo going to be coming. Well, I don't see him as his coach. Okay, I don't know who. You know him as his coach. But Teofimo he's gonna be right there. And that's the whole key to this whole thing. Let me go and get rid of this thing right here, guy. Right here. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we gotta look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight. We're gonna do a coverage on this fight to the word go, you know, and we're gonna keep it going. Tomorrow, we coming back tomorrow. We're gonna do the same thing with the politics and the boxing, okay? Because I know about boxing, people say, "Well, what happened, man? I thought you were talking about boxing. What happened? You went to politics." Well, I did go to politics because it was so interesting. It was so much fighting. You know, that make it even more dangerous, right? Way more dangerous. It could be way more dangerous than just fight. It's a boxing match, okay? So yeah. But we're going to talk about this fight here. This fight right here is very important. It's going to be a good fight because it's going to be the beginning of the era when these guys are going to have to fight each other. Just like Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, just like Duran, and Leonard, and just like Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. You know, it's going to be, they're going to have to clash, bang, 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 and keep the sport alive, man. Sport's coming back. Sport's coming back, and you know what? I ain't gonna be surprised. I would not be surprised after Donald Trump is out of office if he ain't if he's still living, sitting in, of course, watching these fights over there. It's all your race. You can't make this stuff up. How the man doing? Yeah, whoa, I can't believe it. But anyway, it happened. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. You know, listen, this is one thing in this time period where, you know, we're gonna look back at this and say, wow, I was there when this happened. I mean, I was there. I was around when Nixon, you know, the Watergate thing with Nixon, and I'm like, what's going on with that? But it wasn't nothing like this. It wasn't nothing like this. This right here is something so much different that I can't believe it's going on, but it is going on, you know. But anyway, let's get back to this fight. Anyway, there goes Shakur. Shakur, you're gonna have to be, you know, boxing, and hit. Shakur gonna have to dig down, and I'm talking about he got to dig down and bang, because man, this guy gonna be banging. He gonna be hitting. I'm talking about Teofimo, and he gonna be boxing. I mean, he gonna be doing a little bit of everything. So Shakur gonna have to dig down, bite down, and go in there and try to hurt this man. I mean, Cambosa was able to knock him down at 135 pounds. And of course, Teofimo was having a problem making the weight at that time. Add another 5 pounds to it, so it might make a difference. It does make a difference, actually. But he's going to have to dig down, bite down, and this boy right here is going to be coming in boxing, hitting and be honest with you, since that loss against Cambosa, I'm arguing, you got to make an argument that Teofimo may have gotten a lot better. I'm serious. He may have gotten a lot better since then. He didn't start going, he started going up even higher, ascending even higher. So, we're gonna keep it 100. We're gonna keep it 100. And the sport is a sport. And call it like I said, that's what I'm gonna do. And so yeah. So we got an interesting fight coming up, guys. Listen, we're gonna keep this thing going, because I'm telling you, I'm digging all this, right? I'm like talking this politics, I'm like talking about this boxing, at the same time. So, we're gonna come back tomorrow, break things down a little bit more in the second half of after we do the news as to what's going on with our guy and my guy, Donald Trump, man. Look, Donald Trump. I can't believe this dude, man. I can't believe it. It's true, man. It's happening right in real time. So we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to figure this whole thing out. And once we get it figured out, as far as, where we go next, because we got get some smoke screen stuff here. Venezuela, smoke screen. Okay. Africa was a smoke screen. Okay. They flood the zone with all this other stuff to get away with Miss Epstein stuff. Every time that happens, it backs up the Epstein stuff another 3 or 4, 5, 6 days, right? But it's gonna come to where they're gonna have to address this Epstein stuff. And once they address this Epstein stuff, it's gonna be on and it's gonna be cracking. And once it's on and cracking, man, look, we back on track as to what's gonna go on, right? But tomorrow we're gonna get a little bit more, into the logistics of boxing. What's going on? This is the next big fight here. We got a couple more. We got some, week and some change before this fight happens. It's gonna be like 2 weeks, probably about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from this fight. It's gonna happen on the 31st of this month. So we got 2 more, to the end of the month before we see this fight. So we might as well talk about it and see what we can do with the undercard moving forward. So yeah, that's what we got on that one. So look, stay tuned. Don't forget to if you get an opportunity, go to this go to this come to this channel. Go to the channel. I'm not sure we're gonna do a live stream on this or not. Possibility we might do one. I haven't decided yet. But what I have decided is I've decided to get back with my boxing genre. Y'all talking about these fights, these fighters. I mean, that's why I started. And of course, you can always go down to support the other channels. And don't forget to support yourself too, right? Like I'm telling you before, like we talked about earlier, advertise my name, go to the platform, try to help people make money while they sleep. And all you have to do is $20, get your email, okay? Contact is the phone number on the website, call that number, and guess what? Since I'm the representative, I will pick up. And it will tell you exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it to start making this money. What you need to understand is network your way up these days. This is no longer work your way up. It's network your way up. And even that AI is not going to be able to do that. Okay, it's going to help you save you some time. But if you don't own an AI platform, it ain't going to work. All right, folks, that's all I got for today. Until the next one, peace out.